Tommy with Elevation Weekend. Welcome back to the channel. I've had this 2020 Surly ice cream truck with the stock Bud and Lou tires for just over 3 years now, but now it's time for some changes. I want to take the opportunity to do a really quick review of these tires before we discuss what the future holds for this bike. Both of these tires are on 26-inch wheels and are 4.8 inches in size. While these tires are optimized to run on a 100mm wide rim, they can be run down to a 65mm wide rim. On this bike, they're running on the stock Surly wheels, which are 80mm wide, and they've been a good fit for this bike. In this setup, they give a generous amount of tire volume, and when aired down, they give a good grippy contact patch. The Bud is the front specific model. It has tall, grippy knobs, and it's designed to shed mud and snow when riding. The placement and arrangement of the knobs in front are designed to be ideal for traction when steering and braking. I've always found this tire to perform exceptionally well compared to other front tires I've run in the past. I really do feel like that tall, straight center lug pattern almost acts as a rudder does on a boat when riding in deep snow. This is a 120 TPI tire with a Kevlar folding bead, and it weighs in at about 1,600 grams. The Surly Lou is the rear specific tire. It also has tall siped knobs, but these are arranged in a pattern to focus on traction when accelerating and braking as well. I've always found the traction to be really good on this tire as well, but I can't say it's done anything exceptional compared to other tires I've run on the rear of my fat bikes. I think it's possible that this could be the case because the siping doesn't last nearly as long on the rear as it does on the front. It wears out much faster, so it's possible it loses its optimum traction a little quicker than the front does. And the Lou is also a 120 TPI casing, again with a folding Kevlar bead, and it weighs in a little less at 1,585 grams. So just to give you some more insights on the overall use and performance of these tires, generally speaking, both of these tires were always run tubeless, and I use stand sealant. Neither of these tires ever sustained a puncture or a full flat for any reason. In sometimes longer intervals between rides, both tires held air reasonably well, but would lose some air, which is something typical of most bikes running tubeless tires. The Bud tire up front has very clean sidewalls and exhibits almost no seepage of sealant through the sidewalls. I also can't think of a single time that I've had the front tire actually burp air at low tire pressure while riding. The rear Lou tire, however, has had significant seepage of sealant through the sidewalls for over a year now, and at this point it's so severe that even just riding the bike, especially at lower pressures, it just seeps air constantly, and it's so significant it's really just gotten to the point where it needs to be replaced, even though it still has probably about 50% tread life left on it. Another alternative would be to put a tube back in it, but the Surly ice cream truck is already on the heavy side of fat bikes, and I fear going back to running tubes will just make it feel too sluggish on a daily basis. I've also had issues, especially over the last year, with the rear tire being prone to burping air when aired down, and that would happen if I braked a little too hard or if I maybe hit a frozen rut that deformed the tire a little bit too much. Obviously, the rear is going to be more prone to that just because you have more of your weight on it, but again, this isn't really an issue I noticed at all in the first year and a half of running that tire, so it has definitely appeared to get worse, and it could be in conjunction with the sidewalls leaking more sealant and losing air gradually during the ride. It's probably made that a more significant issue. So on the overall, I've been quite pleased with this tire combination from the standpoint of puncture resistance and durability and traction when aired down. I do really wish that the sidewalls on the rear Lou would have been a little more substantial to match the tread life of the tire and maybe even get another year out of it. So as to whether I would recommend these or not, I would give a strong recommend to the front tire. I would probably lean more toward a weaker recommend on the rear tire, and that's not really because it's been bad in and of itself, but it is a little disappointing that the casing's not living up to the tread life and it's not matching more closely to the front tire as far as overall performance and reliability. So these do need to be replaced, and even though I did like these, I'm not going to put the same tires back on this bike. So I was going to put the question out there to you: what direction do you think I should go? I have a couple of different trains of thought. One is to stay on the high volume and aggressive side, maybe even try to go up to a bigger 5-inch tire and really max out the tire size that this bike can take. On the other side of the spectrum, I could try to go down slightly in size and or go down to just a lighter weight, faster rolling tire. It would probably help wake up the performance of the bike a little bit. I have even contemplated maybe trying to do a 27.5 wheel set for this bike with lighter tires, but that would be significantly more cost. So if you found this video helpful, drop a like down below. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions on the direction you think I should go with the ice cream truck, leave those in the comments down below. Since winter is still persisting here in Colorado, I have much more fat bike and snow content on the agenda, so subscribe to the channel if you'd like to follow along and see what I have in store. Lots more coming, so stay tuned. Thanks a lot and have a great day.